All right, you ready? Taylor Swift is now the latest target of right-wing media, especially after she was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year and started showing up at Kansas City Chiefs games to just cheer on her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. Well, our nightcap is still with us, Max. This woman is on tour, conquering the world, actually helping lift the economy. And now you've got people on the far right furious that the cameras are turning to her, smiling and laughing and dancing at NFL games, making her public enemy number one. Why?
Well, she's an incredible entrepreneur and a leader in so many different spaces right now, one who has also shown incredible courage. You know, Taylor Swift had every opportunity in the world to say, well, listen, you know, I got people across the political spectrum who could pay me, and so I'm not going to talk about politics. She didn't do that. She stood up and she had her voice heard. And so now, of course, they want to step in the arena with her. What's amazing is that you have QAnon standing up and saying this is a ploy by the Biden campaign or whatever, the Democratic establishment.
She's doing this to gain fame, like she needs more fame.
It's who somehow pulls the lever on who Time awards the Person of the Year. But we all know QAnon's crazy. But then you watch the trajectory. It starts on QAnon, and then it gets to Steve Bannon's podcast, and next thing you know, it's on Fox. There is no longer an extremist media ecosystem, and then the Republican ecosystem. They're all one and the same.
Okay, but like I watched, right? Last week, you're watching the Detroit Lions game. The camera turns to Eminem, who's a Detroit guy, and he's pumping up the crowd because they're singing his song, doing almost the identical thing Taylor Swift is doing, dancing. Why is she the enemy and he's the hometown hero?
Stephanie, she's a witch. Let's just be honest. The right wing is so right. She's a witch. No, she's encouraging voters to come out and vote, young voters. The woman is like a juggernaut. She's a billionaire, brilliant businesswoman, singer, activist, and they can't handle it. Of course, look, they used to pan at Gisele Bündchen when she was married to Tom Brady. What's the big deal? And I think she's also getting butts in the seats for the NFL. They're not going to complain.
I think that there is a segment of white America who sees Taylor Swift as being representative of theirs in a way that Beyonce is not.
Okay.
In a way that Rihanna is not. Yes, in a way that Shakira is not. And because she is theirs, they feel betrayed that she aligns with values and ideologies that she doesn't want.
She appears to be all-American?
Yes.
And all-American is their brand?
Yes. And so you have now split.
You just blew my mind.
With what I believe ideologically represents American values and ideologies. And how dare you do so? Because I've supported you. I've allowed my daughter to go see you.
I've paid big money.
I've paid big money to support you. And so now that you don't align with that, you've betrayed me and my very American base.
But let's be real. I mean, what the right would like to see at an NFL game is Kanye making out with the pillow guy. That would be their idea of what would be good fun for the NFL.
Oh, my God. I can't unsee that. Why?
Now, look.
Oh, but they'd also like to see Taylor Swift arm in arm with them. And the fact that she's not, and she is this hugely powerful woman, they got to make her the enemy.
Well, imagine what they would do to her if her boyfriend was on the San Francisco 49ers and not the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, we'd be really dealing with conspiracy theories then. I think this is great, and I hope they pile on and they continue to go at her because she's got a following. And I think Biden has a tough get-out-the-vote issue with young women. And abortion isn't going to do it in all states because it's not going to be on the ballot in too many states. And if they can pull this into a major political issue and Taylor Swift is out there as a result counteracting with, I'm going to get my people to the polls, there couldn't be anything better for Joe Biden.
All right, well, speaking of the power of right-wing media, I want to go to you first, Tom, and get your take on the executive chairman of Sinclair Broadcasting, right? A media company that has bought up all sorts of local media around the country, very right-wing, now buying the Baltimore Sun. And you are seeing publicly those journalists rebuke this new ownership and the new ownership trying to slap them into line. What do you think about this?
Well, newspapers are in deep trouble. And it is a good thing in certain respects when wealthy guys come in to save them and try to give them
as a public service.
Now, local papers that have wealthy backers behind them do tend to put in more money to local reporting and local investigative reporting. Obviously, David Smith has a particular political agenda, and be very surprised if he didn't try to turn the Baltimore Sun into something that looked more like the New York Post. Having said that, look, Baltimore is a very blue city. There's nothing he's going to do to turn that red. The Baltimore suburbs are pretty blue also. So he's got to understand who his audience is, and if he goes too far in the wrong direction, he's going to have a bigger problem with the economics of that paper than what he thought he had when he came in to rescue it.
I don't think he cares, though. I mean, there have been these rich men who have bought newspapers and then blown them up. I mean, there's that's been going on. He called the Baltimore Sun, print media in general, meaningless dribble, and then told the people that worked there he hadn't even read it in 4 decades. I don't really read it. I haven't read it. And it's funny, he's a local guy. It's Maryland, and so he's local. So the idea that maybe he's a community guy and the newspaper could improve is there, except he's not, and it won't.
I think newspapers have, and this is unfortunate, a lot less impact politically than they once did. And so he's probably going to do something that's going to undermine independent journalism there. But in the end of the day, is it going to have a major impact on Maryland as a blue state? I don't think so.
How problematic is that, though, when you see how right-wing media has taken over certain markets? It might not work in Maryland, but it sure has in red states.
Well, it's massively problematic, to say nothing of the fact that so many people are also, particularly young people, getting their news off of YouTube and these
TikTok.
These micro channels that is representative of their own ecosystem. But, you know, what's wonderful about this conversation is drawing attention to the bias of some of these media efforts. In and of itself, I think can be self-correcting, although I do enjoy the New York Post once
in a while.
My concern is Armstrong Williams' involvement with respect to this entire transaction and the conversation, because it doesn't bring us closer together. It gets us further apart. And that's why, to your point, Max, these conversations are so essential, because people, in large part, are still, unfortunately, in 2024, processing the news as news and not making the distinction, the very important distinction between news and analysis, news and critique, and all of the sort of nuances, which really aren't nuances, around how we're processing the information that comes in front of us each and every day.